Good morning, Marisa and
Good
Paul.
morning.
Good morning. This is very interesting because I've actually heard about hustle culture, but
Okay.
I don't have a full understanding of what this is. So,
Right.
what is exactly hustle culture, Regina?
Yeah, hustle culture it's like a lifestyle about overworking, overproductive, and people are dominating their energy and time for professional life and has no space for their personal life. So it's different, of course, with productivity. They cannot enjoy every single day at work, but the most important is like being productive, but more and more, and until they are find the offer limit, but they still don't care, and they can't recognize the alarm from their soul that they have to stop it, but they switch like autopilot mode for keep going working. So they cannot find any positive feelings for personal life.
Okay. So I'm wondering, Maria Eugenia, is this a new phenomenon, or is it just something that we've learned to coin a new term for hustle culture? Because from what I remember in our parents' days, some of us had dads that would work from left the house before it was dark, came home when it was dark again at night,
Yes.
and that was just called putting in a good day's work. So what differentiates working hard and being a part of hustle culture? Because Marissa and I mentioned earlier in a point that impressing others could be part of this hustle culture. Could you elaborate a little bit more?
Yeah, of course, it's different. It's like uh, hustle culture is like productive, being overproductive, and it has been modernized as hustle culture
Okay.
as we know right now. So it means like it's been like ages it happens, but now people are more realize that mental health is important. That's why hustle culture is comes up very
Ah,
popular right now. But the most important thing, it's not about 9 to 5 or 9 to 6 or something like that. But the most important, the quality that we have for ourselves, for our personal life. But the problem is people with very overproductive or being a workaholic, they have personal issue to flight mode from their personal life. So they try to focusing on only on job or work. They have no work life balance. Yeah, exactly.
perhaps trying to escape from something too, from home. Like, I want to get away from my home problems, so I'll just kind of focus on work.
That
That
happens
I've
as
heard of.
well. Yes,
Yeah.
that I've heard of
Right.
as well. So, what exactly caused hustle culture?
Yeah, hustle culture is caused by social mindset, sometimes social um, phenomena like social standard. From social standard, it comes like from the statement or the mindset that we believe that the more we do, the more valuable we are. So this kind of term or positive motivation or positive quotes, it can be toxic when we put it in the wrong way and the wrong time, when we need to take a break, but we are still keep going for do everything and handle everything. And also like personal value also plays a role for get burned out or being a workaholic, because we are feeling worthy because of we can do everything, and we have no balancing between like two domains in our soul. We have like two domains between cognitive domain and affective domain, which is cognitive, it's talking about uh, uh, logic and rational and so on and so on, but affective it's about feelings. And we get burned because we only pick one domain in our soul. So we try to remove our affective domain. So people would get burned because of it. So it's like trauma response. That's why people love for being a workaholic.
Okay, I can relate a little bit because I think before I had kids, definitely, any day off I would have, if I had a job offer, I'd be like, yeah, I gotta take it because, I have time. So any time I could allot to working, I would. But finding a work-life balance later on, it didn't happen till later on in life. But I'm also wondering if it's because we can access everything so much easier these days. For example, we've learned how to work from home. We're able to do meetings online in Zoom. Is today's digital era contributing to people being a part of hustle culture? Because it seems like you can just work anytime from any part of the day from anywhere in the world.
Yeah, work from everywhere. Yeah, maybe it play a role, but still, it depends on the motive of the person. If the motive is clear, they really enjoy the job,
Right.
they love their job, and they still have even just a bit person free time, and they can use their free time effectively. It's
Okay.
still okay. They can, we can call them as a productive person and successful person because they have like even just a bit, they can still have free time for themselves for doing their hobby and so on and so on.
Right.
But when someone really like, okay, it's like get burnt out, stress and depression, yeah, it can lead to some of mental health condition when we cannot enjoy our job. So the problem is like the motive and how people enjoy their professional life.
Okay, that makes
Right.
sense. Yeah.
That is interesting. So, do you think, Regina, one of the antidotes to this problem, which is the hustle culture, is better time management?
Yeah. Actually, we have to analyze case by case, one by one, to identify and analyze, is it hustle culture? Does this kind of person get burned out? Or something like that? We need to analyze it first. But the problem of it, we have to get connection with friends and also people in our emotional circle that can make us relax. So it's good thing to handle this kind of thing, even though we have like, of course it's because of time management, but the time management is, if it in our hands, so we have to find the subtle line between work life and personal life and free time life. So we need to plan like a lot of to-do lists, so it, we can find just a bit free time for doing our hobby and just call someone in our emotional circle. It will help us to have self-compassion,
So
Right.
so it will become productive and more productive, and we can be the best version of us for our job, of course, and make our performance get higher.
So, what's your advice for? I completely agree with you that it is, like one of the solutions actually to find out what we're really passionate about, and and creating that work-life balance by, yes, there's this responsibility that we have to do at work, but at the same time, do not forget to take care of ourselves, which is very, very important. But in reality, sometimes there's this pressure as well from companies, right? I know there are some cases from, like my younger friends who said, this is what is expected by my company. It's like if I hustle and hustle and hustle, I'll get promoted. It means that I get more money, I
Right.
get status and everything. So they do experience this pressure as well from the company. Although I do know that there are companies who are now very, trying to be more compassionate towards their staff members. They would send out emails saying, we do not reply your email when it's beyond 5 p.m.
Right.
because we care about the well-being of our staff members.
more recently, right?
Exactly.
Right.
So what's your advice, especially to companies that are still encouraging this hustle culture so that the staff members don't have a choice but to, go with this culture? Which is
Yeah, it's
unhealthy.
like the term or the label of ideal employee. Sometimes like it push someone for being like, okay, I have to do this like until over limit, until I have to put and dedicate for my job. I want to be an ideal employee. Yeah. That kind of title can lead someone to get burned out, and yeah, of course, hustle culture. Yeah, the advice for this is everyone, like personal, like every employee, they have to like just a bit time, like 15 minutes or 10 minutes to try to translate the emotion, like just talk to someone that they trust, like for example, or they can go to professional. It just takes like 45 minutes or 30 minutes to help them to translate the emotion if they feel like very uncomfortable or have negative feelings because of negative feelings in our professional life. It will get affected with the performance, like our performance would get lower, and people that work more than 48 hours per week, it's different. Like normal people can work only maximum 48 hours per week, but if more than that, the faith will be adjourning and they get lower performance. So the advice is like let them have like free time, just talk to professional, even just a bit. If not professional, it's okay to someone that they trust. It's friends, family, or yeah, anyone to translate the negative emotion.
Right. So it seems to me that the biggest difference between, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't mean to oversimplify, but difference between somebody who's A, hardworking, or somebody who's part of hustle culture is their state of mind. If somebody is perfectly happy doing what they do and they still find the little things that they can enjoy in life, then it's totally okay. Now, when we realize the symptoms within ourselves, such as some of the ones you mentioned, it's too much pressure, it's causing depression and anxiety, how do we escape this hustle culture? I mean, what are some of the first steps we need to take? We're not always lucky enough to have somebody support system around you to say, hey, you're working too hard and it's not looking good for you. In fact, like Marissa said, you could be in a work environment that completely, supports that sort of behavior and style. So, what's your advice on somebody who perhaps are starting to see signs, negative impacts of hustle culture in themselves?
Yeah, when something that we can still handle is my advice as an expert, like practice the self-compassion to yourself, like value yourself, like feeling that you are worthy no matter who you are. You don't have to be like over and over again. You don't have to like put like all your dedication, energy, and time for doing this, but still you have to taking care of yourself. Look at yourself and feeling gratitude for today, for everything that you have, and feeling like try to love yourself first, and then accept yourself, accept your past, accept your mistakes, because everyone can make mistakes. So value yourself like this, so you can be the good, really, really good person for the everyone around you, and also give the best performance of you and make your boss and your company happy for this. It's like the keys of yourself.
Yeah,
I
the
agree.
key is just to
Yourself.
put yourself first, I believe, right? I mean, as
Absolutely.
important as a job is.
Yeah, I mean, rest, I think we probably haven't emphasized enough the importance of rest. You know, it's like, of course, it is important to be productive, especially for the young generation that is just building their career, right? Of course, they're excited and they want to reach a certain point. But without rest, you can't function.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, you can go a little while,
Or
but
we
after
cannot be working well. Like,
Exactly.
it catches up to you eventually.
It does. So, we've been discussing about hustle culture, and so far, we conclude that hustle culture is not good, and it's better that if we avoid it and we adopt work-life balance. But I'm just curious, is there any positive side of hustle culture, or not at all?
okay, in my opinion, no, of course not.
Yes.
Because how can we find the good thing from hustle culture? Get burned out, lead us to mental health issue, get depression, stress, and being procrastinator. It will make us lazy to being part of team player in our work life. So we cannot like work very good, and also sometimes we also have problem with our family and friends because the emotion, we repress the emotion without translating it, we put it for ourselves, we flight it, we make some projection to our professional life. Of course, there's no good thing of it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So it's a good conclusion then. Hustle culture is no good.
Simply put, work hard, don't hustle too much. All right, thank you so much, Regina, for your time. We really do appreciate this more in-depth look into hustle culture. Have yourself a great
Thank
day.
you very much for having me today.
Thank you, Regina. Have a lovely day.